Alright everyone, let's talk about one of the best ways to make Mesos in Maplestory 2 right now. That is going to be world boss rotations. Now you can end up making approximately 1 to 1.2 million Mesos at the maximum, and that'll take you half an hour to do. The only catch to that is the best time period to do this is only going to be half an hour out of every hour. Now you could spend a full hour doing this, but the second half an hour is going to make you less than 1 million Mesos, so most people usually end up doing this and starting this 5 minutes before the hour. Now right now we've got a little more than 4 minutes until the second set of world bosses spawns. What I wanted to do before they actually spawn is give you guys some important information and tips that'll help you maximize your efficiency, so when you do this you're actually going to be making the most amount of Mesos that you possibly can. I wanted to mention a few really important things at the beginning as well. First of all is whenever I end up making videos like this, people always get concerned that when you talk about a Meso making method, is this going to really impact the ability for people who already know about this to make Mesos? And when it comes to world boss spawns in all the different channels, but after 5 minutes of the initial spawn period, all the world bosses that haven't been engaged will despawn. And as of right now, that usually ends up being 30 to 40 channels worth of world bosses are just despawning anyway. So just because more people might end up finding out about this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get less kills. There's plenty of world bosses that are just essentially going to waste anyway because there's not enough people killing them quickly enough. So if anything, this is really only going to help people out and maybe get more kills in per hour. Now, I will mention as well that I ended up taking some of this information from a Reddit post, so thank you very much to, let me actually read the username of whoever made this properly so I don't mess it up. Franks, thank you very much for the very detailed Reddit post with almost 1,000 upvotes, especially the website that I wanted to share with you guys today. Really, really awesome website. I'll leave a link in the description, and what this is it actually tells you when all the different world bosses in Maplestory 2 spawn, and if they're active at that time period as well. Like I mentioned, you can spend the full hour doing this, but most people usually start this off 5 minutes before the hour. And the 3 more commonly run world bosses are going to be Ludari Arena, which is actually being run right now. I'm skipping out on it so I can end up recording the video. Then we have Lavender Island, which is actually where we're at right now, and in a little over 2 minutes, the world bosses will start to spawn here. And then 10 minutes after that, at 15 minutes past the hour, will be the NASCAR Pyramid world bosses. Now, you can end up usually getting approximately 10 to 12 world boss kills, somewhere in that general range, per 7 to 10 minutes or so of you actually killing the world bosses. If you're in a full group, you want to be in a group of 4 players because that'll give you 30% extra Mesos. You'll end up getting well over 30,000 Mesos per boss kill, in addition to the loot drops and the onyx crystals and the crystals. So you can definitely end up getting 300 to 400,000 Mesos every single world boss rotation. 3 of these world boss rotations takes half an hour: the Ludari Arena, the Lavender Island, and the NASCAR Pyramid. So you're looking at around 1 to 1.2 million Mesos in world boss hunting every half an hour. Now, when the world bosses actually spawn, I wanted to give you guys some tips so you can maximize your actual kills. First thing is, you can end up clicking the tab icon to expand your map so that if you spawn, you can quickly check to see if the world boss is there without actually having to fly. I know this is just a quick little thing, but it's definitely going to save you some time. Another thing is, when you do end up killing the world bosses, it's very, very tempting to end up going to the very next channel. I'm actually starting off in channel 2, and this is a tip that was actually from the Reddit post, which I found really, really helpful, is I would either pick the odd or the even numbers. Even though it's really tempting to end up going from one channel to the next, you're probably going to find that doing that is going to result in going to a lot of channels where the boss has already been killed, that you just end up wasting time. So you might end up getting slightly less kills in per 5 to 10 minutes or so by skipping a channel, but you also end up doing more damage, and more damage is going to end up giving you more crystals as well, because the crystal drops from world bosses is actually going to be based off of the damage that you do, whereas the Mesos and the loot drop is just going to be based on whether you've hit it once or not at all. So with that being said, we've got about 1 minute to go, so let's head on over here and let's get ready to do this world boss trade. So I'm going to try to get as many kills in as I can. I'm not in a group because I don't want to slow anybody down if, well, because I'm recording a video, of course. So I'm going to be getting about 30% less Mesos than I normally would in a group. But besides that, let's see how many kills we can end up getting through this Lavender Island chain. Now, like I said, 5 minutes, then all the bosses will despawn. So you're going to see they'll spawn in all 60 channels, but after 5 minutes, most of the bosses that haven't been activated yet will start to go away. So you don't really have to worry about the competition of more people finding out about this really kind of ruining it for everyone. It doesn't really work that way with world bosses. You'll see they go down really, really quickly, especially in the earlier channels. Alright, so this is going to be the first boss kill. Well, in just a second anyway. And again, we're going to end up skipping channels. Oh, another really big mistake people end up making, definitely make sure to actually pick up the loot as well. I know that seems really simple, but if it's your first time doing a world boss train, you might just be really tempted to switch instances right away, right after you kill the boss, and completely forget to end up picking up the loot. So there we go, the boss is there. Nobody's activated it yet, so we should be able to get plenty of damage and give ourselves a really good chance at getting those crystals as well. So yeah, definitely make sure to end up picking up the loot. That's really, really important. I've made that mistake, and even if you are a more experienced player, it can be really easy to just get carried away or kind of zone out and end up switching instances without picking up the loot. So you're going to be getting approximately 20 to 25,000 Mesos without the Party Meso buff, but when you end up getting the Party Meso buff, with having 4 or more people in your group, you're going to be getting around 30 to 35,000 Mesos per boss kill. And don't forget as well that you're also going to see there, I got about 23,000, but that was without the Meso buff. Don't forget as well, you end up getting a piece of gear that you can dismantle for Onyx crystals. That's actually going to be some extra Mesos as well. And of course, you end up getting those crystals that you can use to reroll your pet bonus talents or your actual gear as well. So let's see, the boss is still there. Now, I think the Ludari Arena is probably a little bit better than this one, and that starts 10 minutes before. So generally speaking, when it comes to world bosses, they start every 10 minutes, and they despawn after 5. So you'll see in a few minutes here, we still have about 2.5 to 3 minutes to go, that even though there will be a lot of world bosses in all the different channels, most of them will end up disappearing. And I guess I'll just show you guys really quickly so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So right now, we've got all the different... Look at that. You can see there's still plenty of world bosses left and 26 additional channels. Well, in a couple of minutes here, what's going to happen is any world boss after 5 minutes of the spawn time is going to... They're going to disappear if they haven't been engaged by a player. So there might still be a couple in the later channels, you know, 50s, or a couple of channels where some people decided to activate it solo. But besides that, most of the world bosses are going to end up disappearing. Now, if I wasn't recording a video, I could probably end up getting a group doing this a bit more efficiently. You can definitely end up getting close to 10 kills or so in that 5 to 7 minute time period before the world bosses end up going away. And with that 30% Meso buff, you're looking at around 35,000 Mesos per boss kill, plus the Onyx crystals that you end up getting from the actual equipment that you disenchant. Alright, so we still should be able to get at least a couple more kills in before they start to despawn. Let's see, make sure it's there. And occasionally they run events as well where you end up getting double the Mesos from world boss kills, which means it would be even more. You would be getting close to 60,000 Mesos, or maybe even more than 60,000 Mesos, every single world boss kill. Plus the actual equipment and the crystals as well. Now, I would also, really important tip, I would try to hide other players. As you can see, I don't actually see anybody, because if you have other players showing on your map, it's going to be extremely, extremely laggy. Maybe you might be able to get away with it on the computer that you have, but for me, it would, even with a pretty decent computer, it's just too laggy. So I would hide players. I think I have a video up on the channel where I actually go through it. It's a very brief 2 to 3 minute tutorial on how to actually hide it so that you don't see anybody, or you don't see any pets or names or anything like that, and that'll just help with the lag issues. So we've got a little over, actually a little under 1 minute until the world bosses start to despawn. So let me get a couple hits and I'll show you guys what happens on the map. So you can see all the bosses there, and then once it rolls over to 2110, most of the world bosses are going to despawn. So you don't really have to worry about the competition or a ton of people or more people finding out about this, because they're going to start to despawn here in just a second. So let's change. Let's give it 30 seconds for the map to update, and then we'll change to a different map. Let's go to channel 14 and just see if it's been activated here. Alright, so channel 14 doesn't look like the boss is here, so let's take a look at the map. They've mostly probably all despawned. As you can see, they've pretty much all despawned at this point because it's been 5 minutes. So we've got channel 12, 13, and 15. Let's head over to 15. Oh, looks like everybody's trying to get that last quick kill in, so we might not actually be able to. What about 13? Might already be dead. This is where the tab function comes in really handy to see. Yep, it's already dead, so we don't even have to fly over there and check. I'm pretty sure the one in channel 15 is going to be dead any second because everybody's trying to get that last kill in. So as you can see, if you do this efficiently, if you're in a group, you're going to get more Mesos. If you're actually paying attention, you can get in probably a couple more kills per 5 to 6 minutes, and they spawn a lot. So in 4 minutes, the NASCAR Pyramid World bosses will spawn, but I think I've shown you guys well enough in a video how this kind of works already. So with that being said, I will leave a link in the description to the actual website that has the World Boss timers. You can spend more than half an hour per hour doing this. It's just that I think these three are the best ones. Ludari Arena probably being the best out of the three. Lavender Island and NASCAR Pyramid. There's other ones, but these are going to be the ones where you can probably end up getting close to 10 World Boss kills in before they start to despawn. And as I mentioned, a lot of this information was taken from that Reddit post as well, so I'll leave a link in the description. Credit once again to, let me make sure I don't read your name wrong, credit to Franks for the Reddit post, and let's keep up the good work of telling people in the community about all the good different ways to do things and make Mesos and just all the different things. I know it's really tempting to keep this stuff secret, which is always why I get a little bit disappointed when I make videos like this, and sometimes they get a bit of a negative reaction, but this is only going to help people out. This isn't really very competitive. The more people that find out about this, it's only really going to be better because the world bosses just despawn anyway, so they're kind of going to waste anyway. Might as well let more people know about it. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this video. Hopefully you found another way to end up making some Mesos. If you guys enjoyed this and it helped out, consider leaving a like. If you guys are new to the channel and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing. And as I always mention in the end, if you guys are interested in the $50 Nexon NX or $50 Steam gift card, link is in the description. Feel free to check it out. Plenty of ways to enter, the two easiest of which are to be a subscriber to the channel for 2 tickets or to leave a like on the video for a bonus ticket. Good luck to those of you entering that. And of course, there should be a few videos popping up on the screen. If you guys missed out on some other stuff on the channel from the last few days, feel free to check it out. But if not, until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.